What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the all-new 2020 Toyota Camry TRD and compare it to its big brother, the all-new 2020 Toyota Avalon TRD. So we're going to have a lot of things to go over in this video. Huge thank you to Flow Toyota of Statesville. They're providing both of these TRD models for today's video. Definitely check out their website in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the brand new Toyotas, so definitely check them out. So anyways, let's get into the comparison of these TRD sedans.
Starting off with the Avalon, you get a 3.5 liter V6 engine. It puts out 301 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque. And the Camry, you get the same engine. Same 3.5 liter V6, same horsepower, same torque. However, there's a 200 pound difference between these vehicles. The Avalon weighs about 3,700 pounds versus 3,500 pounds. So your 0 to 60 time is about 5.8 seconds versus 6.1 seconds. They're both front wheel drive, and then as far as the dimensions go for each vehicle, the Avalon has a wheelbase of 113 inches versus 111.2 on the Camry. Overall length is 195.9 versus 192.7. The width is 72.8 versus 72.4, and the height is 55.9 versus 56.9 on the Camry. So as you can tell, the Camry is just a little bit smaller overall.
So needless to say, these cars are pretty much the same underneath. The Avalon is a bigger vehicle, so it is the same car wrapped in a bigger body. As far as the exterior styling goes, that is subjective, of course. Both cars look awesome. They look like a TRD version of what they are. As we take a quick look at the Camry, we got a really cool ground effects kit with the blacked out trim in the lower section with the red trim, really aggressive front end. A lot more mesh on the front end with the Avalon, has a really aggressive look just like with the Camry. So this kind of depends on which one you prefer better. I think they both look the way they should look. Same design for the wheels on each car, and they both have a lot of really cool exterior styling. As we make our way to the rear, we get a little bit of differences, and of course this is based off of a different vehicle, so they are fundamentally different, but we get the really cool taillights all around for the Avalon. Just that modern LED bar through the whole rear end. We get a nice lip spoiler, TRD logo, dual exhaust. Very cool looking overall. And then making our way over to the Camry, we get a two-tone paint job, which looks really sweet. More of a pedestal spoiler design, giving it a little bit different look. Same TRD dual exhaust with an aggressive diffuser. So both cars look pretty awesome overall. Anything you want to point out?
I think the biggest difference between both of these vehicles is that the Camry is geared more towards being a sporty family sedan, and the Avalon is more of the luxurious side of it. What they did for 2020 for the TRD is that the Camry has a lot more upgraded suspension components. It rides about a half-inch lower than a base Camry, and there's no upgraded suspension work done to the Avalon. So this is going to be a softer ride, kind of, again, geared more towards the luxurious side of it. Whereas the Camry, you could probably take this out on some back twisty roads and get a little aggressive with it, since it is a little bit more sporty looking. And then my favorite part with both vehicles is they come with the TRD catback exhaust. It's not too aggressive, but it gives it a nice tone.
Well, that is going to wrap up the exterior look at the Avalon versus the Camry. I think the exhaust might be a hair louder on the Camry, actually.
Yeah?
So maybe they just tuned it just slightly, maybe the engine is tuned just slightly different. But as you can tell, we're already finding that the Camry is the sportier version, a little smaller, a little bit, probably more nimble in the driving, which we're going to find out shortly. Yep. This still retains more of the luxury side. So with that said, let's hop into the Camry, check out these interiors, because Toyota did a fantastic job making these look like a TRD interior. As you can see, we have red stitching and red accents all throughout the interior.
Don't forget the red seat belts.
That is an amazing touch, as you can see, but really good looking. I love this two-tone design with the black and the red. Really good bolsters, soft feeling leather. It feels really nice. We have red stitching all throughout the steering wheel and along the shifter. So that is definitely a very sporty interior.
And then making our way into the Avalon, you can tell right away it's more luxurious inside. You have some extra padding on the armrest along with stitching and a little bit of trim. They both have these same floor mats with Camry or Avalon TRD and the red running around it. The seats are upgraded a little bit more with the microsuede on the inside. Same stitching on the inside and the TRD embroidered on the top along with the red stitching.
We definitely get softer leather in the Avalon. Again, this is geared a little bit more towards the luxury side, so you can tell that throughout the interior. Very cool looking center screen in this one, just a little bit different than what you get in the Camry.
This also has stitching on the center armrest, which the Camry does not, so giving it just more of a premium feel.
So we are starting out now in the Toyota Avalon. First up though, these red seatbelts are awesome. It just gives it a really cool look.
It's not even an option either.
That's standard?
It's standard, yeah.
Sweet. So we're gonna get our feeling with this car because it's more of a normal Avalon, you know, more of Toyota's luxury, bigger sedan. And then we'll hop into the Camry, lighter, smaller, a little bit more nimble, different suspension. But as far as normal comfort as we leave the parking lot, this is a very comfortable car. I've never driven an Avalon. The steering is really light, so just getting up and going. Acceleration should be pretty much identical.
Yeah.
That TRD exhaust sounds good.
It's got a little bit there.
Yeah.
You know that you can notice it.
I like that.
But for a luxurious sedan, it gives you that.
Yeah, it gives you a nice little
quiet
tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the person buying the TRD, you know, they want the nice Avalon, but they want it more sporty. So I can definitely see that. As far as visibility, everything is really good. Yeah. Super comfortable. So we have eco mode, we have a normal mode, sport mode, which we can bump it over and do the paddle shifters. So it looks like in the Avalon, there's not really a manual mode per se. It's more of a sport mode when you put the shifter over. We'll have to see if in the Camry if that's different. But in sport mode, just giving it a little bit of gas, it downshifts. Yeah, it's nice to drive. It's sporty. It's still a nice luxury car. The interior creature comforts. This is really roomy and nice to drive.
I like all the space that you have here in front of the shifter.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of room. How big is it in here? Oh, wow. That's much different as we'll see in the Camry.
Yeah. All right, so then pulling into a parking lot, we're going to test out the rear seat space. Let's do the turning radius. You know, the steering weight feels really good. It's got some weight to it. It's not super light, which is nice. Has a sporty feeling to it. Turning radius seems pretty normal.
Not bad.
So yeah, that is the Avalon test drive. We're gonna cut to Mike's camera and kind of see what it's like back there. But this car has all the normal safety features, automatic high beams, a lane keeping assist. We can have brake hold, all that kind of stuff. Backup camera, let's take a quick look. Looks really good.
All right, Brian, let's go for a drive.
So guys, I am 5'11". I have the seat set to my normal height. This is exactly how I would drive. Mike, how are you back there?
So my feet are up underneath the seat. I have probably 5 or 6 inches in front of my knees and 2 or 3 inches above my head.
Okay.
So I have no complaints as far as being comfortable going for a long ride or something like that. Okay. You have the armrest is very similar. The same one is up there. You get the nice padding with the stitching.
Okay.
So it's a good comfortable ride. We got the center armrest as well. So it gives you a little bit more storage space. So it's pretty nice in the back seats. I like it.
Yeah, I noticed going over bumps, it's smooth, exactly the way you would want.
Yeah.
It drives like a luxury car. I mean, this is on par with the Lexus. You know, this is more of what Toyota's going to put into the Lexus vehicles, and this definitely has that nice, comfortable ride. This is, I mean, I could imagine just cruising on the highway. Yeah. Long journeys in this is definitely going to be a nice cruising family sedan. And since it is a little bit larger, as we talked about earlier in the video, you got probably a little bit more legroom in here, we'll see with the Camry, but a little bit more storage space inside this, making it a little bit more usable for, you know, longer journeys, more people and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I like the visibility back here too. I don't feel too claustrophobic or anything.
Yeah.
This back glass here, I can easily see over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, same on that one too. You can probably see those for better visibility as well.
Yeah, those third quarter windows, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
That is really good for me as a driver. So visibility for me is great. Mm-hmm. And yeah, well, that's the Avalon. This is nice. I love these seats, by the way. They're super comfortable.
They are.
I love the materials on them. Do you get the same materials back there?
Yeah. They're not heated or ventilated like up front, but same attention to detail.
Yeah, they did a good job just sprucing the Avalon up to be a sporty car, and that's why you'd be buying the TRD. You want the sporty one, and it's nice. It even has a digital display actually in the center gauge cluster.
Yeah.
Well, that is cool. I like it. It's really nice. Let's hop in the Camry and take a look. All right, so setting off now in the Camry. Once again, I love all the red accents. These seatbelts are so awesome looking. The seat design, I like both of them equally. They both have a really cool design, and I'm glad they went with a different design for each car.
If you notice too, the gauge cluster on this one is red.
Oh yeah.
It's not red on the Avalon.
And we have a little bit smaller LCD display in the center of this one, a little bit smaller screen in here. So you can tell already this is a little bit smaller vehicle, not as luxury oriented. And then we have the same eco, normal, sport modes, everything like that. Steering weight feels about the same. Don't know if I can really notice a difference there. As far as the sound goes,
it's a little louder.
Yeah, you hear a little bit more exhaust tone, so maybe even the sound deadening in the vehicles could be slightly different.
Yeah.
But I like the tone because you're not going to buy this car wanting a straight pipe loud car. You want just enough to say, yeah, I'm in the sporty version. And you got that. So I definitely like TRD.
Yep.
The suspension already, that is way different.
It's a little more stiff.
I didn't feel any of these bumps before. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing because, again, this is a sporty version of the Camry. If you want the one where you don't feel any bumps, you're not going to be wanting to buy the TRD version.
Right, but at the same time, it's not harsh.
Oh yeah, we'll get up going a little bit higher speed, but normal little road bumps, you definitely feel that, which is good. You know, this gives it that performance feeling to it. But overall fit and finish is pretty similar. You know, I think Toyota did a really good job overall with the layout of both cars, just giving them the sporty appearance and so giving it a nice premium feeling to it. So then in the Camry, if I put this one over into the sport mode, this is now an actual manual mode. The Avalon still kind of would shift for you, so it's not a full-on manual mode. This one though, using the paddles, it's a little bit more responsive, giving it gas. Yeah, so this is,
you click it.
Yeah, this is definitely geared more towards a sporty. You're going to use the paddles in this car and actually kind of drive it like a sporty car, which is pretty cool. So I like the function of the paddle shifters. And then as we come to a sharper turn, let's just get another idea of the suspension as far as handling.
Can you feel anything with the brake pedal?
Brake pedal, what would I be looking for?
Well, it's hard because you're not driving this back to back with a base Camry, but from what I found, they kind of redirected the pedal so it has a better braking feel to it.
Okay.
Kind of a little more solid, I guess, so they tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, just hitting the brakes, I mean, they're definitely good.
Yeah.
Both cars didn't have any issues with.
A little bit larger brakes up front.
Okay.
By one piston.
As far as turning radius goes, this is probably a little bit tighter being a smaller vehicle, but both are definitely pretty good. So let's hop on in the back. Yeah, overall, so far driving the Camry, this is a nice little car. You have all the same type of safety features, technology, the lane keeping, the radar cruise control. Mike has the key, that's why it's dinging.
Right, you ready?
Yep. One thing kind of cool I noticed about visibility, like you had said, the spoiler dips down in the center, and that actually gets out of my way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can even see the spoiler in these side mirrors, which is a nice little touch. We'll do a little bit of an acceleration. I don't think it'll be much different, but I love the sound. This is definitely a little bit more exhaust sound to it. It gets up to speed. You know, it doesn't need more power. This is very adequate.
Yeah.
So,
like I mentioned in my video, Bri, the TRD is becoming more of like an appearance package, but specifically on this one, they're adding all the actual functionality that you need, the suspension and the handling, rather than more horsepower. Yeah, because you don't really need it in a car like this, but the suspension, and again, I can feel these bumps way more than the Avalon did. It's got that performance feel, And then, let's see, well, how is it for space in the rear as we take a quick turn? You know, when I was doing the review, it seemed like it was very cramped back here. Yeah. But I still have 4 or 5 inches in front of my knees, my feet are underneath the seat, and 2 or 3 inches above my head, so honestly, it feels different because this third glass is a part of the door. Okay. There's not a pillar there separating it. It feels tighter, but at the same time, it's not bad. It's still it's still a good amount of room, even for 3 people back here. So it's a little smaller than the Avalon, of course, but no complaints there. Going around that turn quickly, I could feel how the suspension was just sport tuned. Yeah, it's like, crazy. There's no body roll. I love the sound. You're just doing normal speed limit. Just 45 miles an hour. It's planted, you know, it's very flat. Yeah. This is a nice car to drive on some fun roads. This is the car that you're going to buy where you still want the family sedan, all the good stuff a Camry offers, but you want to have some fun with your car, so you definitely want this. You can take this out on the track if you wanted to. I don't doubt that. The Avalon is definitely geared more towards the comfort side. So overall, both cars, they have a lot to offer. Like we've kind of concluded from even the beginning, this is a little bit more sporty, a little bit more nimble, just has that extra performance. The suspension is a big deal in this car, and the Avalon is more geared towards the luxury side, but looking really, really sporty. All right, so that wraps up driving around in the TRD Camry. A few last things to mention is pricing. So these are about $12,000 difference in pricing, with the Avalon being more. Obviously some other options might, you know, kind of go in that price point. But these are geared towards 2 totally different buyers. We have more luxurious features, as we already mentioned, versus more sporty. So it's really cool to see Toyota taking the TRD development into different classes of their sedans, their biggest sedan, their middle sedan, and just adding that touch to what the buyers actually want. So I'm impressed with them. I like them a lot. I think they both have a ton to offer.
Once again, shout out to Flo Toyota of Statesville. They're providing both of these cars for today's video, and we actually have a full review of each vehicle linked down below. Definitely check them out if you want to see every single bit of information for both of the cars. That's going to wrap up today's video, guys. Hope you all enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a huge thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next video.